Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。That confirms it, I said. One that suffered from a version of roid rage. Why didn't the medical examiner catch that? We asked him that, judging by the amount of medicine she ordered and when he thinks she didn't take steroids all the time, she would go on and off the medicine for stretches to avoid the major physical side effects, things that would be noticed in an autopsy, a post-mortem examination to discover the cause of death or the extent of disease. Autopsy. But that seesaw approach would play hell with her mood. Seesaw approach. Charge rapidly and repeatedly from one situation or condition to another and back again. She'd experience pain, relief, and maybe even euphoria and mania. Euphoria, a feeling or state or existence, excitement and happiness. And mania, mental illness marked by periods of great excitement or euphoria, delusion, and overactive, denoting a specified mental abnormality or obsession. Abnormality or obsession. Followed by depressive periods whenever she abruptly stopped the medication. The coroner told Darrow that Wanda's blood work would likely confirm low cortisone levels, a sure sign of steroid use. Cortisone, a hormone produced by the adrenal cortex. Sure sign of steroid use. Then, when the pain became unbearable, she'd do it again. I said, but why didn't you find any steroids in the house? After about October 20th, when she found the tempered bottle. Wanda didn't place any more order for drugs. She probably trashed any steroids pills she did have, because we didn't find any on the scene. When that last order of prescription cream to treat her dry hands was mistakenly delivered to the Norrises, she must have seen Brad place it on her porch and just assumed he was part of the conspiracy. By then, she would have been off the drugs for several days and in a pretty bad way. She would not have been thinking straight enough to call the police. I see. Then Nancy turned to Plan B, deciding to poison Wanda in person with her kill sack on Halloween. Did you ever find her ghost costume? Folded and placed on a shelf in her laundry closet under a mountain of window dressings. What about her toxic trip bag, buried in her garden? And inside the bag, a plane ticket to New York and the shattered picture of Wanda with her children. I felt vindicated, clear of blame or suspicion. Most of my theory had been deduct, deduct, deduction, action of deducing or subtracting, deducting or subtracting something. The interference, particular instance by reference to general law or principle. But had been deduction. But I'd actually painted an accurate picture of the murder after all. The three of us sat there for a moment, thinking about our neighbor and all she must have gone through. What about Trent? I asked suddenly. Is he still in jail? We dropped the charges against Trent, all of them. Darryl started up the stairs but stopped on the first step, testing its solidness with his foot. Oh my gosh, I cried. That broken first step, but I guess I was too tipsy that night of the murder to remember it again, or to remember it later. You obviously noticed Trent had fixed it, so why didn't you just open up the step and grab the evidence? Think about that for 1 minute, and then tell me what you think of the idea. Well, I began, thinking aloud. You must have figured that important evidence existed beneath that repaired step, evidence which could implicate the killer. But you also knew that you couldn't be the one to find it. Doing so might look like you set someone up, and the jury might let the accused go free. You'd have to take yourself off the case first and let someone else find the evidence, which finally explained the silent anguish I'd witnessed in Darryl over the past 2 weeks. Severe mental or physical pain and suffering. Darryl said, I don't like giving up cases, but I started up, picking or reckoned from a particular point in time or space. But I also know how humble you are. You'd give up a case in a second if you knew it was the right thing to do. I think you didn't want to give up this case because you couldn't guarantee another investigator would be as fair to Trent as you would try to be. Darryl met my eyes. I work with really good people, but you know I'm right. That's why you tried to get Otis to confess as to where he hid the evidence. The search warrant of his art was just a ruse to get him to speak up. Ruse. Just a ruse. action to intend to deceive someone a trick. Daryl nodded. However, someone else spoke up too and put a wrench in that plan. We looked accusingly at Lydia, who reacted by holding a throw pillow in front of her face. I stood up for Lydia, but me concerning Nancy and getting the convention was much better, because there's no guarantee you would have ever gotten a DNA match from the evidence anyway. And now it wouldn't make sense to dig up that evidence at all. Because what if it accidentally implicated the one who originally found it and held it, namely Otis Jones? Daryl nodded again. I think we've got a closed case. And now I'm going to go upstairs and take a nice long nap. He looked sternly at Lydia. Mom, I don't have the energy to question you tonight. I guess I'm just relieved that you are talking again. Besides, I figured if I make you sweat a little more, maybe, just maybe, you won't pull a maneuver like this ever again. Fine, son, you win. Lydia hit her profile with a hand as she gave me a silly wink. Sly wink, having or showing a cunning and deceitful nature. Gave me a sly wink. Lydia hit her profile with a hand as she gave me a sly wink. After a roll of his eyes, Daryl climbed the stairs and disappeared behind the guest room door. I turned to Lydia. You pretended to be mute because Otis showed you the gloves and you didn't want to implicate him, didn't you? That wasn't the only reason. You and Daryl sure have gotten a chance to know one another the past couple weeks. Perhaps over and above everything else, my friend had been orchestrating a devious game of matchmaking. Orchestrating, arrange or scroll for orchestral performance. A devious, showing skillful use of underhand tactics to achieve goals. Underhand game of matchmaking. My friend had been orchestrating My friend had been orchestrating a devious game of matchmaking. I gave her a stern look. Person, serious and unrelenting, especially in the assertion of authority and exercise of discipline. Pretending to flee my worth, extreme anger. She shuffled over to the stairs as if to head up to her own bedroom, but not before she too stopped thoughtfully on the steps that Otis had made a hiding place for the evidence he'd found. I said, when he showed up that morning with those gloves, didn't it give you pause? Didn't you suspect him of something ghostly? Ghastly, causing great horror or fear. Extremely unwell, very objectionable, bad or unpleasant. Ghastly. Suspect him of something ghastly. She shook her head. When you know someone, you just know. She said, we just need time for the truth to come out. Thank God you found the truth in time, because I don't think I could have kept my mouth shut another day. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。